Hello everyone, welcome to our second video of the ML Bootcamp. In this particular video, we are going to cover the topic of the pandas, Seaborn, and we are going to see the little bit of the facial recognition by the help of the OpenCV. We are going to introduce OpenCV, and in the next video, we are going to do one project. So now let's start with our Jupyter Lab. We are going to first cover the topic of the pandas. So first of all, import pandas as pd. If the pandas is not installed in your PC, you can simply do pip install pandas and it will be installed in your PC. So basically we use pandas for the playing with our CSV file for our data sets. You can generate its own data set, and we are going to see later on that how we can generate our own data set by the help of the pandas. So in this particularly, we also need little bit of Seaborn library. Import Seaborn as SNS. We are going to study Seaborn in this session only after completing our panda. I just need to show something, that is why we are using Seaborn here. So if I use data equals to SNS dot load dataset. So there is, I think, yeah, I can use it. So if I load the dataset Iris, the Iris is one of the famous dataset of the Seaborn. Seaborn provides you some of the predefined dataset that is provided in the Seaborn. So you can see that this dataset has the 5 columns: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species. So if you do type of this dataset data, now you can see that it is showing that its type is pandas.core.frame.dataframe. Now there are many things that pandas can provide you, that suppose first of all, if you do not want to see all of the data of that particular, so this data set containing 150 rows and the 5 columns, but you do not want to see all of them, you just want to know about the data, so you can do data.head, and it will give you all the top 5 rows of the dataset. And if you want to know all the last 10 rows of the dataset, you can see that these are the last 10 rows of the dataset. You can, if you do not pass any parameter, it will also give you 5. If you want to suppose see the top 20, you can pass the parameter of 20 in the head. That is a simple little bit intro of pandas. Moving forward, we can, if you want to know this whole data set, if you want to know suppose what is the maximum value of this sepal length, what is the count of the how many variables are there in the sepal length, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation of this particular sepal length, sepal width, you want to know the features and you want to know more about the data set, you can click on data.describe. If you do that, it will give you that particular count, mean, standard deviation, mean, and it's 25%, 50%, and the maximum value of that particular sepal length and sepal width. Okay. Now, if you want to generate, this is the second topic that we are going to cover in the pandas, that is our generating our own data set. So if you want to generate our own data set, so I want 2 lists. Okay, first of all, I want 2 lists in it. So you can generate 2 lists by the help of the numpy. You can generate import numpy as np. I want column 1. Column 1 equals to np dot arrange. I can do 10 is fine. I can also generate column 2 by the help of np dot, no, I will generate it like this, a b c d and d. I've been doing it 6, it is very taking long time, do it 6. Okay, so import, we have generated the two lists, one in the column 1 and one in the column 2. I want to it into a data set. Okay, I want to generate a data set, suppose like Irish only. So you can generate it by the help of the pandas. There is one function pd dot data frame, and it takes a dictionary. Okay, so you can dictionary outside also, but we can simply make, suppose this column 2 is representing name, so the names equals to column 2, and our what else we need, marks, let's take the marks, and our marks equals to column 1. Okay, if I press enter, so now you can see that it is generated our own data set is generated by the help of this. Okay, you can do store it into like let's store it in a value. Okay, if I want this data set to be into a CSV file, we can also do that by the help of, if we do a dot to CSV. If we do that, now let's invent data dot CSV. So now you can see that we have generated our own data set with the help of the name and the marks. Our data set is generated. Now we are going to cover the topic. This is the last topic. This is going to be the last topic of the pandas. Then we are going to move towards the Seaborn. So we are going to cover scrapping in pandas. So scrapping in the pandas can be done by the help of the ilog function. Okay. So if this is the particular data set A, if you want to scrap it somewhat like this, if I do a.ilog, so now it is, you can see that it is giving you the same data, but I want, if I provide -1 here, so now you can see that it is giving you the only the first element. Okay, first column. If I pass this, now you can see this, it is giving you the last column, because -1 is going to represent our last column, and this dot dot for the first thing, it is represent you all the rows. Okay, if I want the data from of the last column but for the first to fourth row, okay, again that the fourth row is excluded in it. Okay, if I do this, now you can see that it is giving you 1 2 3 up to this. If you want to the data of the first of the 0th one, okay, that name one, if you pass it, it will giving you B C D. You can more see it on the Iris data set. We have stored it into a data. So I want data dot ilog. I want all the rows, and I want the columns. I want the first column, and I want the third column, fourth column up to third column. Okay, so it is giving you the data of the first and second, that is of sepal width and sepal length. And I also want to scrap that. I do not want the first 10 columns, first 10 rows and the last 10 rows. Okay, so we can scrap it like 10, and I do not want, I want up to, there are 150, so I want up to 120. Okay, so it will give you up to 10 to 190 of the sepal width and the petal length. So it is giving up to 10 to up to 119 sepal width and the petal length. We use this ilog function. We are going to use our machine learning, because we do not need the whole data. We sometimes we need a particular sort of data in our whole data set, because you will able to see that in the future that some of the data sets are going to be very large, and you already only want to need a particular part of the data set. Then we are going to use that data.ilog. So this is all about the pandas. Now let's move toward the Seaborn. So let's generate our new file for the Seaborn. So when we are starting the Seaborn, we loaded in the pandas only about So, oh, I named it wrong. Okay. So if I generate it in the pandas only, like we are using this import CA-bond as SNS. Okay. So we are going to that also here, import C-bond as SNS. So what is the basic need of the C-bond? Why we need C-bond? So C-bond have the two important features in it. First one is that it contains its particular predefined data set that is generated in pandas that is already loaded into a C-bond. And after that, the one and the important reason is that the visualization of C-bond is more better than the. Now we are going to load the one or two data sets of the C-bond like iris and the tips, and we are going to see some of the graphs by the help of the C-bond and try to visualize the data, that how those graphs are generated. Okay. So first, that we have generated about that data equals to SNS dot load data set. So we have loaded the dataset iris. So first we are going to work on this iris dataset, then we will going to work on the tip dataset. I will provide you some of the name of the dataset that is provided by the C-bond in the description. And there is one more tip before starting the C-bond I can give you. There is a link that is 10 minutes with pandas. You can go through this documentation. I really prefer you to go through this. Okay, this is a very small and give you the brief and a very cool explanation about the topics of the pandas. You can go through it and learn a lot about the pandas from this particular documentation. I will provide you this link into the description box. After that, moving to the C-bond, I want to know the columns. We can see that data. This is our iris data set that we are seeing. Just seeing this into our pandas. It is name as pandas. Okay, and this name is C-bond. Cool. Now, after moving forward, you will going to see this is our iris data set. I want to generate, before making graphs on the used data set, let's generate a graph on the data sets of that NumPy data that we studied into our first video, that is x equals to dot random dot random. When we studied this topic in NumPy, I've already told you that when the random generated 1000 values, the mean of these values are going to be 0 and the standard deviation is going to be 1. So if I generate its mean, x dot mean, so now you can see that the value is approximately coming nearby 0. Every time I'm doing this, the approximation value of this mean is coming up to 0. If I do the standard deviation of it, so it is also coming up to 0.99, that is approximately 1. So now you can see that it is 1.01. So it is approximately going to be nearby 1. Now I want to generate a scatter plot. Now I do not want to generate, I just want to generate a plot regardingly according to this data that proves that the mean is the standard deviation that shows that is nearby 1 and 0. The mean is going to be nearby 0 and the standard deviation is going to be nearby 1. So we can do this by the help of SNS.dist plot. We can generate a plot accordingly to that X graph. Now you can see that it is showing that the mean is accordingly nearby 0 only. All the data is shrinking towards 0 and the bars are increasing at the end of the 0, and from the side data, when we are going far, the data is going to be less. Okay, now we can generate some sort of more. Okay, now the perfect visualization is coming. Now you can see that it is looking more better. The curve is pointing towards that point only. It is at the point 0. That means that the mean is going to be 0 and it is nearly from 0 to 1. Now we are going to see our iris data set and we are going to generate some of the graphs by the help of the iris data. So this is our data. Yeah. So this is the iris dataset. Now I want to know its columns. So if we do data.columns, okay, it is should be, yeah. So it should be sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and species. So I want to generate a scatter plot accordingly to this graph. We can generate the scatter plot in our matplotlib also, but for the better visualization of the data, we are using a Seaborn. If I use the sns.scatterplot for the data, suppose I use sepal length first and data sepal width. Okay, if I generate a scatter plot accordingly to that data, so now you can see a scatter plot is generated and all these points are describing the coordinates of where the sepal and the sepal width are pointing. But I want to generate that. Now let's check them for the species. Okay, if I want to generate a hue point according to the species, okay, species. Okay, it is taking some time. Yeah. So now you can see that the colors is coming here. So it is pointing them. So now if suppose I want to generate a line, okay, so I will suppose I generate a line from 2.5 to here. It is like this, where my mouse cursor is going. Okay, so now if I suppose if the point is given to you like 3.5 and 5, you can easily say that it is belongs to setosa. So for the better visualization, I think I could give you this sepal length also. Wait. So now you can get the, I think you will get the better visualization in this. So by the help of hue, we have generated the species in the sepal length and the sepal length. Okay. So if I give you a point, suppose 4.5. So can you determine that which species is going to belong? So it is very simple. It is going to belong with the setosa species because most of the species here are belonging to setosa. After that, from the 5 to 6, they are generally belonging to the versicolor, and after the 5.5 or the 6, it is belongingly majorly to the virginica. So we are going to study the machine learning algorithms accordingly. But it is just, I'm just showing you how these algorithms are going to be implemented. So this is just one sort of example I have just discussed in the iris dataset. Now there is one more dataset that we can discuss is tips. Tips equals to sns dot load dataset. I want tips. So this tips dataset had the 7 columns and 24 rows. Okay, so we do if tips dot columns. Again, I did the same mistake. Yeah. So there are the 7 columns, and I want to generate a graph. Again, sns dot scatter plot for like data, total bill, data tip. Okay, sorry, I named it tips. So it will tips and tips. If we generate a graph, why it is giving me an error? Yeah, this is the reason. Yeah. So now you can see that the visualization is very much different from the iris dataset. So here the data is very different from the iris dataset. So now you can see that in the region of 10 to 30, the dots are very dense, and after the 30 to 50, the dots are going to be they are not going to be very dense. Okay. Now let's move and see the hue. For now, I want to see the hue for the data of, what should I see? I want smoker. Okay. So if I do smoker, shit, it is tip. I'm doing mistakes. Yeah. So now you can see that the total bill is 10 to 30 and the tip is that, and the smoker are here. These yellow dots are defining that a person not drinking, not do smoking, and that this blue dots are defining that person do smoke. Okay. So you can visualize the data accordingly. You can pass here, there is one more of sex, you can pass here sex, you can pass size, you can change this tips also, you can generate following cloud of data and you can study accordingly, and you can generate different type of graphs by the help of the Seaborn. So this is the just basic introduction of the pandas and the Seaborn. Now we are going to study an interesting topic and doing our face recognition part in the OpenCV, and you will really enjoy it a lot. Now we are going to start with OpenCV. For starting with OpenCV, first of all, something we should know about the OpenCV. So we want an image. So let's take from an image from the browser. So I want a image URL. So let's take a Modi ji image here. So which image should I take? I think I should go with this image. So let's save, copy image address. Okay. So I will save the URL. So this is the URL of the image. After that I have to import URL lib dot request. If URL lib is not installed in your PC, you can simply do pip install URL lib. I want to save that image that is present in that URL into my PC. So I have to do URL lib dot request dot URL retrieve URL comma modiji.jpg. So now it is showing that the image has been saved to my PC. So it should be there. Oh, it is not reflecting right now, but it will now. Yeah, it is here now. After that, I want to open that image into my Jupyter Lab. So for this, I have to import the library pill. Okay, from pill import image. So I've simply done, I've just downloaded an image from the URL by the help of the URL lib, and then I open the image by the pillow library. So these are the two steps that I have done till now. After moving forward, I want to show you that what are the height and width, and is the image is a two-dimensional or this image is a three-dimensional view. So we are going to see that now. So for this I will import numpy as np. After importing numpy, I want to check that image is a two-dimensional figure or the three-dimensional figure. So I will store that image into a data form np.array and storing and I will pass that image. So let's store that image in a frame. So I've stored that image into a frame and I will pass that frame here. So after that we'll try data.shape. So now this is the thing. So let's open that image also in a frame. So now you can see that it is a 2D image, but the numpy array is showing that 360, this is the height of the image, 640, this is the width of the image, and it is what is this 3? These 3 are representing the RGB color format of the image. So they understand the concept of this RGB colors, that how the image is a 3D view. This is our x-axis, this is our y-axis, this is our z-axis. So suppose this is our image, and if this is our image, so that is the height, that is the width, and this is the z color, which contains all the colors, that is representing the colors. For the colors there are three axes, R, G and B. If we do this, if I make this a cuboid, if this is the cuboid, so there are three layers like this. First layer will contain R color, second layer will contain green color, and third layer will contain the blue color. So this image is like a cuboid with the which contains the first layer of red color, second is of green, and third layer is of blue. If we try to paste them accordingly, then the particular image is generated. These are all the three layers that are R, G and B. Now let's move forward and understand, and we are now going to remove one of the layer and see the visualization into a matplotlib library. Import matplotlib.pyplot. SPLT. After importing the matplotlib, I want to visualize this image into a form of a graph, so I will do plt.imshow data. So this is our graph. So first I will store that particularly work equals to data.copy. So I stored the work for the first, and now let's make a one more object. Okay, simply like work1. So because we have to do 2 or 3 things, I have to show them. That is why I am generating this work and work1. So in the work1 I am just doing some cropping of that image. So I am just going to show that how we are going to move on the height and the width axis. So I want what? I want to plt.imshow. I want to do work. I want the height is 360 and the width is 640. So I want to visualize up to from 40 to here it is 360, like 320, and 20 to 580. If I do plt.imshow, now you can see that the image has been cropped now from this side and from the top also. I cropped that image on the basis of height and width. Now I want to remove the colors from that image, like I do not want suppose a particular color from that image. So now let's see this. If that plt.imshow, okay, I can do work1. On the work1 I can do work1 equals to work1. I am passing this and this as it is, and I am doing the 0th layer equals to 0. So I have what I have done. I have all the layer that is present at the 0th on the third axis of 0. I have generated its value equals to 0. So I have just, it means I have just removed one color from the image. So if I do plt.imshow of work1, so now you can see that one color of the image has been removed. I think it is a red color because the red color is not showing properly now. So now let's move to the, now let's check for the one more. Now let's do on the work. I want to remove one particular color, or should I remove two colors? Okay, should I remove the two colors? I will remove 1, 2. Okay, then I will do it 0. If I do plt.imshow work, so now you can see that it is giving us some other view. So now let's move forward and understand this concept with the help of the RGB image. You can simply see the RGB image. You will do the Google, you will find a RGB image. RGB image. Okay, so let's take a RGB image. Which image should I take? Cool. Now let's, okay, this image is looking good. Okay, I want a URL of this image. Now I'm changing the URL. Okay, and I want to have this image also. So now you can see that the Modi ji image is this RGB image is signifying that Modi ji image, and now we are going to work on this particular image, and we will able to see the look that how this RGB image is going to react on that particular thing. The particular red color is going to remove, or particular green color is going to remove, or particular blue color is going to be removed by the processes. So if I move forward, if I open this image, now there is the in the frame that is the RGB image. After that I do the shape, then I do the in the matplotlib, I open that image again. At this time I do not want to do the cropping, I just want to show you how that the red color is reflecting in the green color and the blue color. So first of all I removed the 0th axis. Okay, now what is the problem? Yeah, it is now working fine. Okay, now you can see that as the 0th part is 0, so you are able to see that the red color, only the red part of that image is removed, the green or blue part is still showing up. If I do this 1 and 2, that means the first axis image, now the green part has been removed, only the blue and red color is showing up. Now if I want to remove 1 and 3, if I do 1, 0 to 2, now let's check. So now you can see that red and green part has been removed, the blue part is it means that 0th layer is identifying the red color, 1 layer is identifying the green color, and the last layer is identifying the blue color. So this is about the image. Now we are going to do our project about the with the help of the Haar cascade. We are going to do the face recognition. First of all, let's import the library that are going to be used when we are doing the face recognition. So let's import CV2, and there is a need of numpy. I want matplotlib.pyplot. Anything else? No. All this is okay. That all we need for face recognition part. And there is, I downloaded one classifier, Haar cascade frontal face. I will give you this classifier. I will provide it in the description. Now I want one image from which we can do the face recognition part. So let's take a Modi ji image, or no, let's go with Iron Man image this time. Or Tony Stark. Yeah. So let's take this image. It is looking cool. So I will copy image address. I will store it in a URL like. So after saving that URL, I missed one thing. I have to import URL lib dot request. Then we have to do URL lib dot request dot URL retrieve URL comma ironman.jpg. After saving that image, I want to open that image. So first of all, I have to, this time we are not going with pillow, we are going to open that image with the cv2. So we are going to do cv2.imread. This is the function of a cv2 by which you can read that image into the form of a numpy array. Okay, if I do cv2.image and I open ironman.jpg, if I do this, then it is a 3-dimensional array as we have discussed. Now what we have to do, let's store it in a form of a data. If I do plt.imshow of this data, so now you can see that this image is not looking like the image that we have seen here. So there is some difference in it. So I will show you there also. It is somewhat different image. It is happening because the cv2 takes the image in the not take the image in the format of RGB format, it takes the image in the format of BGR format. So we have to convert it into a RGB format. For doing that into RGB format, let's store it in a variable. Let's cv2 dot cvt color I want that data to be into a RGB format. So we'll do cv2 dot color BGR to RGB. What is the error? Oh yeah, this is. So if I do plt.imshow this time. Now let's move to our face recognition part. For the face recognition, we are going to use the Harcascade frontal face library, that is an XML file. With the help of the cv2, we are going to generate a classifier, and by this we are going to do our face recognition. So for generating our classifier, we have to do classifier equals to cv2 dot cascade classifier, and I'm going to pass this Harcascade file here. After passing this classifier, I want to classify the image. I want that particular image, so I will pass that classifier dot detect multiscale. I want to detect the image, I want to detect the face into that particular image RGB. So let's pass the RGB here. So it is giving you a particular array. So that particular array is going to show that the image is going to be in that particular array. So what we have to do, I want that particular image, so I want to crop that particular image from that full image. So I will do that, it is the Ironman image, so I will do Ironman equals to RGB. I will store the, first of all I will take that image into a face. Let's do it, face equals to, yeah, okay. So this is my value x, y, w, h, just to face. What is the issue? Okay. Yeah, I was the first element now, okay. So because it is giving a 2D array, I just convert it into a 1D array and then takes its element. It was somewhat like this. That is why I have done face 0. After that, I want Ironman image, so I will do Ironman equals to, from the RGB image, I want to crop this particular part. So I will take y and the y plus h comma x plus w. After that, if I'll do plt.imshow of the Iron Man, then we will got the image. So this is the image of the Tony Stark that we got. So that's what we want to do. In the next video, we are little bit studying about the BS4, and we will also complete one project in the next video. After that, we will move to our machine learning algorithm. Thank you. Bye bye.